You know, I lived across the street in what was called Brookview Apartments. I used to look out the window down what we call the Yellow Brick Road out here. This was a magnificent building. And I thought to myself, if I could only go there. Fellow leaders, welcome to Delaware. Welcome to Claymont, Delaware. It used to be a steel town here years ago. And welcome to the border of Wilmington, Delaware. And I'm really pleased that you were able to be in my home and see where I grew up. We're at Archmere Academy Preparatory School. I was asked by the prime ministers of India, Japan, and Australia. They wanted to come here because they wanted to see how I was raised. They want to know, they felt closer, knowing more about me. So I thought it was important for them to come here and see where I went to school, where I got my values. It was totally consistent with what I learned at home, that everybody deserves a shot. You got to stand up. You got to be willing to run against the tide when the tide was going the wrong way. I learned that here. So I worked in the summers to earn the money to get the tuition to come here. This is an incredible place, and it just gave me a sense that if I could do it here, I could do anything anywhere. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it was a big deal for me. We're democracies who know how to get things done. That's why within the first days of my presidency, I reached out to each of your nations to propose we elevate the Quad, make it even more consequential. You ready to go to work?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, come on. I'm honored to welcome Prime Minister Morrison, Prime Minister Modi, Prime Minister Suga for the first in-person meeting of the Quad we've had. I'm proud to say that we're making excellent progress. Quad leaders met for the first time just over 1 year ago. To date, our partnership is central to achieving our goals and critical for the foundation of our continuing cooperation. The Quad has a lot of work ahead of us, keeping this region peaceful and stable, tackling this pandemic, and addressing the climate crisis. In a short time, we've shown the Quad isn't just a passing fad. We mean business. We're here to get things done for the region, and I'm proud of what we're building together, and I look forward to our vital partnership flourishing and for many years to come. A lot's changing around the world, and you've heard me say it 100 times. We're in a situation where we're at a real inflection point in world history. The post-war era is over. It's not going to change. It's not going to be the same. And what's the world going to look like the next 60 years, the next 30 years, the next 40 years? And that's going to depend on what we do now. It's going to shape the world for the next 5, 6 decades. And that's what's at stake now. And that's why I think it's so important that the Quad is working out and making sure the Indo-Pacific is safe and secure. We're changing the dynamic in the world. When you have Japan in the north, when you have India in the west, you have Australia in the south, the United States, it's about making sure not to contain China, but make sure the international rules of the road are adhered to. So that's what this is all about. While challenges will come, the world will change because the Quad is here to stay, I believe.